It's still in very much into award season. We'll chat to two of the winners from the Taco Caper Investigative Awards as well later on. And we'll also chat to Joanna Oosthuizen from Ogilvy Joburg for winning the gold for their campaign, the KFC Air to Hope campaign at the PRISM Awards. However, we start at the very beginning with the best up-and-coming public relations professional at the PRISM Awards. And PRISM, of course, is the PR Awards. Brittany Preece is with me from Cerebra. She's the account manager there, and she's done lots of great things. Enough, of course, to get the nod from the judges. So, Brittany, good of you to come in, and congratulations.
Thank you, and thanks so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Good. So the obvious one, it's been a week, right? I think. Well, it's exactly
been a week
today. How has your life changed in 1 week? I'm suggesting it must.
Okay. You know what? It's very exciting. I think it's anytime you're recognised for putting in the hours and stuff, it's been great. And obviously I have had a lot of people congratulating me, but otherwise it's agency life.
Okay, so but I mean two things. One is congratulations, which is nice for the ego, and there's nothing wrong in that. The other is the solid affirmation from people who are industry experts. So
yes.
Friends and family will congratulate, industry experts may congratulate, but are they saying more than congratulations? And are you making notes of that to say, hold it, that's important, they're looking at me slightly differently today?
Yes, I do. I think it's definitely, you know what, being in PR, it's all about reputation, and it's a big builder for my own reputation in the industry, and to have people that I respect and whose opinions I value recognize me and maybe look at me and say, okay, well, maybe you do have something to say, and we'll keep an eye on you. That's fantastic. I think that's all you can ask for.
Why did you win? What did the judges say?
To be honest, I haven't received the exact feedback, but if I say what I think, probably because I have a passion for integrated communication. I think especially the way things are going now, you can't just be, traditional PR and that's exactly what you do, and you're good at media relations, great, but you've really got to have an understanding of the social media aspect as well, and be able to deliver campaigns that integrate both sides for your clients.
And I mean, in terms of winning, you had to submit entries, right?
Yes, you had to submit an entry. Yeah. A lot of it was based on your previous work, on some testimonials from various people you work with. And then, I hope for the best.
Mm-hmm. Now, specifically, what then did you submit?
What did I submit?
Yeah.
It's a motivation based on why I believed I should win, and a couple of references from clients, from journalists, from managers, and then also the supporting documentation kind of based on, I know Preece looks very specifically at metrics, so some of the campaigns I'd worked on, the measurable results that came out of those, and
Now, having been a judge last year at the same awards, but not this year, of course, I know how difficult it is to actually finally choose winners, right? What's interesting from a Cerebra point of view, I mean, my interaction certainly with some of the guys from Cerebra is it's a company that is fully in touch with social media. Right?
Absolutely.
So in terms of your work, is it more social media, and you used the word integrated earlier on, is it more social media as primary work and then moving into other things or not? Because we're talking PR here as opposed to above the line advertising, right?
Yes, so the interesting thing about Cerebra is that we specialize in traditional and non-traditional media. So basically we try to help brands navigate the online space, broadcast, print, as well as social, so Facebook, Twitter, that sort of thing. And, maybe some people aren't as familiar with that, but I have clients that are purely PR and media communication, and then I have some that are fully integrated. So we do their media communication, we run their company blog, we run their Facebook page. So we really, it's about a consistent message and how are we using those platforms to speak to the target audience.
Now, your thoughts then in terms of that integration. I mean, you mentioned a couple of things that you run. Running their company blog and running their Facebook page, does that lose authenticity?
No, I don't think so. I think the idea is that all companies have stories to tell, and I think our job as PR practitioners and communication practitioners is to help the client identify that story and, reach the audience that they want to reach by adding value. And I think if you can identify that sweet spot of adding value through the blog or the Facebook page, and it's sincere, then absolutely not.
Okay, now lots of people I know listen to the show who sort of contemplating getting into PR or sort of dabbling with already
yes.
sort of wanting to get any better? I mean, what advice can you give them? What I'm saying is, give me the who, what, when, where, why of, typically client comes to you, and I mean, we're talking publicity, so that's what they want. They want publicity, right? How do you go about doing it?
And in terms of media coverage and that sort of thing. I think probably core to what we do is having an excellent understanding of the media landscape. You have to know what channels are out there, what publications are out there, who's the editor, and obviously you know yourself, it's continuously changing, and you've got to really be on top of that. Then also looking for that story, looking for something. PR, I think, traditionally has quite a bad reputation as, we spam out any story just to get the media coverage.
But don't you do that? I get like hundreds of emails a day anyway.
Yes, and understandably, and people that, maybe there are practitioners out there that have given, us bad reputation, but there should be a lot more thought behind it. There should be a lot more strategy behind it. And if you can really get down, find that story, find something valuable, that does actually add to the lives of the consumers.
Okay, so give me an example. I mean, if you can, a story that you had to publicize or promote, and what did you do?
Okay, so if I think of a biggish one that probably people are more familiar with, I'd say the Nike Run Josie campaign. I was lucky to work on that, and I think very key to the success of that was the messaging of, we're running for a bigger cause. We're taking back our streets. And in the end, the PR around that and the media communication drove the entries to that race. I think people want to know that they're running for a bigger cause. They, doing something good. And PR was incredibly effective.
That is a new event, right?
Yes.
Newly created.
Yes.
So are you saying that once the event was created, and Nike, of course, put their name to it, right? So they actually own the race, if I understand that. The PR aspect in terms of marketing the event from scratch, because it's not really one that you would get athletics clubs getting involved. You want the lay person.
Yes.
To get in.
You want that target audience, that 20-year-old.
The critical aspect was the PR.
Yes, absolutely. And what maybe the consumers don't see is that behind the scenes we seeding it from the journalists. We pushing the story from the journalist, and that is how it reaches the consumers. So there's a lot of thought that goes into it, and to reach those specific consumers, that's gold, and it was very successful, and I think that contributed to me winning the PRISM.
Okay, now I have to say that. Just so that you know, the Virgin Active Sports Industry Awards judged the Nike Josie run very, very favorably, of course, right? And I was one of the judges on that. So I'm very aware of just what a hit. And most of the judges, they were all mainly foreign judges, actually. They were absolutely bowled over by the whole concept. So that is absolutely fantastic. But the point I want to ask you is, how that almost appears to be like it's this easy idea because it's this sexy novel race, and it's going to be a lot of fun although it's new, it's a lot of fun. Now that would be, I think, easier to do PR on than to do PR on something that is not very sexy, that's not very popular, and you're trying to get people to sort of get an interest in it. Give me your insight into that.
So when I think, it's an excellent question. Obviously, it's something big. It's a big brand, and we do work with smaller brands at Cerebra as well. And I do think it's about identifying, who do you want to speak to? There are companies that don't want to speak to consumer. They may be a B2B, or they've got a very, very niche audience. And so, it's not necessarily about a big piece in a big newspaper or something like that. It's about how do we get into their trade media, and how do we get our key message across. And I think if you can understand the platforms that are available to you and build relationships with those journalists, and offer them a story that, ask them what they kind of looking for, what they believe the readers are looking for. It's crucial, and you can secure their coverage. So
would you say, and I'm almost sort of pitching myself, you're open to being questioned, is there a better chance to get a story, on air, let's say on this show,
okay,
by simply emailing me, tweeting me, or calling me? I mean, what works best?
To be completely honest, it's different for all journalists. I think you know that as well. I think there are. I think it's better to start off with a call, I do. I think it's more personal. I think it's maybe the scarier thing to do as a practitioner, but it's a more personal thing. Maybe even meeting the person, that's also great. They don't spam. Don't spam unless they like to receive emails. Often journalists will tell you, please